happy you're here.
So happy you're here.
Hey, doll.
Hi.
If nobody told you today, you look beautiful.
How about my
Nobody told
buns?
you today, your buns look great. Just in case you didn't know. So happy you're here. You know, Becky, I didn't realize not everybody knows us.
We sometimes don't say our names at all.
No, we're just some talkative ladies in your ear. I'm Erin and this is Becky. And if we haven't met you, we met on home shopping as home shopping hosts over a decade ago. And darn it, they wanted us to talk about product nonstop. And we needed a place to talk about everything but the product.
We had some visiting to do.
Yes, we had some visiting to do. We have some visiting to do. So we started So Happy You're Here podcast, and we are truly so happy you're here. So I owe you an apology right out of the gates.
Uh-oh, do tell.
And I've never in this 10 years, this is Becky's first apology she's getting from me.
I'm so glad I'm recording.
We're recording it in many different ways. You can save this, clip it for your scrapbook. First apology in over 10 years. I have been so in my head the past few weeks. And I need to apologize to you because I typically pride myself on being pretty focused.
Yes.
Like at work, here, communicating. There has been so much happening.
I know.
Some we can, some we can't talk about. Some we'll get to soon, some we'll get to later. But I have just been like, the cobwebs in my brain, and not like dusty old dead cobwebs, but like can't get through, like a jungle. Like I can't get through my brain. So my apologies that my laser focus.
You're so sweet.
Has been muted, has been a little blurred.
The habit trail running through the little chipmunks and gerbils running around in there.
Yeah. Have you noticed it?
Here's what I will tell you.
It?
And this happens to a lot of us. I think we feel it. We know what's happening. And you think it's really evident. Like you'll have an eye twitch and you're like, look at my eye. It's twitching. She feels this way and nobody else knows.
You didn't notice it?
No. And I know what you're saying and I know what you're going through. But to the untrained eye.
Really?
You're still.
Well, I fancy you a trained eye. I do. I fancy you a trained. Well, I mean, really take advantage of the apology because you're not going to get another one till, let's see, 2035. I mean, this is
a decade.
Take advantage of it. If you want to yell at me, if you want to say, I know, you're right. You've been so foggy. You can do that, Becky, because you're not getting another apology for a long time.
No, I appreciate the apology. It's not required, not necessary, but there is. I mean, there's a lot going on at work. There's a lot going on in
the world.
Yes.
The world.
Yes.
You know, we don't need to give anybody a laundry list. Everybody knows.
Right.
And as Becky and I are able and willing, we will be able to share different things. But anyway, thank you for accepting my apology, everybody. And get ready. Another one coming in about 10, 12 years.
Mark it.
So since we met each other talking fashion, we always like to talk a little fashion at the top of each episode. I'll just go right into mine. If anybody's looking at easy ways to update their wardrobe, take your really thick belts and make them a little skinnier. It's just going to help you right now.
Okay, is that skinny enough?
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be too skinny, but, you know, we had huge, thick belts for a while.
Yeah.
And I guess if you are doing like a Western or Yellowstone theme, you know, there still is a place for one.
Yeah.
But if you want to take even a lot of you wore brag belts for a long time. I never got into brag belts. Mm-hmm. But even if you took those and made them like half the size, it's just an easy update to update your wardrobe.
Erin, do you remember the time that Father Phil got me the Hermes one?
He did?
So years and years ago, do you remember this when Yolanda Hadid or then Foster?
Yes. Who can keep up these days?
Do you remember?
She's an in-demand lady.
She is so gorgeous. And I remember her as a model, like in Elle magazine, the high cut bathing
Was
suits.
she in Japan with you?
She was not. She was big time. And we would see, do you remember this? We would see her fridge and it was incredibly curated. Of course. Everything was literally styled out, but so was her closet. And I remember she would always do a white jean, an Hermes belt, the H.
Yeah. And she would do like a white Lulu, like zip up.
So cute.
What a relatable queen.
She really was.
Yes.
And I remember just going a gaga over it. And this is really, truly like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And Father Phil, God bless him, got me an Hermes belt. And these are expensive. Like this is a considered purchase.
Yeah.
And
that's not a faux firkin. That's a
wow. Not a workin'.
Again,
no.
She's always surprising us with who she is. She just told us last week she's going to buy her Birkin at Walmart.
Yes. I didn't do it, by the way.
And now she's got an Hermes belt.
Well, here's the problem.
Okay, what happened?
It's Christmas morning. I open it up. I fall out. I'm so excited. But you know, I'm a little bit of a value girl. So I'm like instantly thinking about the dollars.
Right. You're worried about mortgage.
But then I go to put it on.
And?
It's way too small.
Oh, no. Oh, heavens.
He grabbed a belt out of my closet, and God bless him. It's the sweetest thing he's ever done.
That's great research, though. Very resourceful.
Very resourceful, but it's also an older belt.
Okay.
And so it was
from like fight and weight.
Yes.
Okay.
And it was tears. It was, I mean, and not to him. He didn't know, but I was.
Did you try it on in front of him and it didn't close?
No, I just, as far as he knew, I was just excited and it was the best gift ever. And then I had to have the, do you have the receipt?
Okay. Did you return it for a larger size or did you stash the money and go buy other things?
Yeah, this has always been my life hack.
Yes.
I used to put things on my mom's Dayton's credit card back in the day when you could return things for cash.
Yes.
So I would buy something, return it, and then pocket the money.
What a scam artist.
Listen,
I thought we learned everything about you last week. She forgot the part where she was scamming her mother out of cold hard cash. What's next? A Ponzi scheme?
But a $700, or I mean, it's some crazy number for a belt.
I've never gotten into brag belts.
The only reason I liked the Hermes one, I liked the fact, first of all, you had to know what it was. It wasn't like the big G's.
Yes.
It's a little bit quiet.
Yeah. No, you could see where it was a quiet luxury about it.
Then for sure.
Yes, but I'm happy that all worked out for you. It's another reason why we should probably clean out our closets more often than we do.
Listen,
because we're giving ourselves and our husbands false hope.
That's right.
It's really creating false hope. I've got a pair of jeans in my closet that can't go past my knees, and gall darn it, I refuse to get rid of them.
No.
What if one day, out of nowhere, I go back to cheerleading weight and size?
That's right.
Out of nowhere, without trying, without a plan, without putting any effort in. What if?
Well, you don't want to rule out the possibility.
Well, exactly. Who am I to tell myself no? Who am I to stop my dreams from coming true? Those jeans will sit in there till the day I die.
I love it.
I want to be wrapped in them.
Yeah.
I die. I want you guys to just politely lay them over my body.
It won't be like a flag over the casket. It'll just be the denim.
I want a sign that says, remember when she was this skinny?
There won't be a headstone. It'll just be the denim.
Never forget. She wore these once.
I one time was talking to a friend.
Sure, she barely ate, but she wore them. What did your friend say?
You guys, we kid.
We do.
I remember saying a number, a waist size in jeans. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if it ever goes beyond that, like I really want you to sit down. And today I put on some thrifted Levi's that are like, you know how old Levi's run differently?
Yep.
It's not actually your
They're
waist size.
Yeah.
These are like 32s. They're like men's 32s.
Okay.
And you can tell because you can see where he had his phone back here.
Okay.
I was like, a man's 32? Come on. Like now it's gone too far.
It's just different. We were shaped differently in the 80s.
That's what it is. They were a little bit boxed, like a little bit.
Our bodies were different. I didn't know you thrifted your denim.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I've been on this. I've been on the hunt because the kids were doing it on Poshmark and the prices were so high. And I was like, get out of my way.
Yeah.
Let me go.
You're like,
do my thing.
I'm not silly enough to do this. Mm-mm. Do you have anything in the fashion realm that you need to let us know about today? Anything happening, going on in your brain?
You know what's really scaring me? You guys, I don't want to talk about weather because it's very specific to where we are, but it is really, really cold.
Yeah, we live in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Right now, I think it's 8 degrees, but it feels like it's like -10.
Yeah.
Based on wind chill and barometric pressure and what the weatherman tells me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And stars aligning and sunspots.
That's just what they say. So like you can't walk your dog. Like I tried to walk Teddy in this. That's my dog. And her little paws start to bleed because they're so cold. She still wants to keep going, but she's hopping.
Oh no. And then there's salt too. Yeah. There's salt on the road.
We're having a really tough time, me and her right now, because she doesn't get it that she can't walk outside.
Do you know you can bring her to Shields?
And walk her.
And take her on a little toodle.
Have you met my dog? Can I bring her to Shields? I don't think so.
Here's my problem with Shields. I love that they do this.
Shields is another store. Like department store for like outdoor things. Surprise. I haven't been there too many times.
Here's what's cool about it.
They sell Crocs, so chill.
And there's a Ferris wheel inside.
Yeah, chill out.
Yeah. Settle down, Crocs seller.
Never want to take a deep breath. Although it is a great place to go for your kids. And I guess your dogs can go, but my dog is ill-behaved. Absolutely the naughtiest. But even worse on a leash.
Do you want to know if you're buying clothes? And this is a little cautionary tale. I love that you allow this, Shields, but I have a hard time. Like we're just pulling dog hair off of.
Sorry.
Is there dog hair on the clothes?
I don't know. I'm surprised I haven't bought my clothes at an outdoor outfitter.
Okay, we talked about this though. I went to Dick's for the holidays to get sweatsuits for the kids.
That's another sporting goods store, in case you didn't know.
Yeah.
Does everybody know what Dick's is?
I think so. Is that nationwide?
I don't know.
I think it is. Shocked at the price of just casual sweats, like a sweatsuit.
I know. We talked about this on air the other day.
Yeah.
You guys, I have to get 16 more jobs just to keep my kids in sweatpants.
Honestly,
it's
and
insane.
they keep growing. I mean, I'm sure they're in and out of them.
Yeah, they're growing so fast. So what was your fashion note of the week?
Let's start with you guys. We were talking about the whack-a-mole. Oh,
the weather, honey.
Coats.
You started with the weather.
Coats.
Yes.
I want you thinking about a variety of coats. Like you have a good puffer right there.
Sure, yes.
I wore a Donna Salyers today.
You look so cute. You look like an ice princess walking in. But
do you want to tell the story about that?
What? What one?
The day we bought those?
Oh, that's the day we blacked out.
Yes.
So at our network where we shop or where we work, where we've met most of you, every once in a while they have to clear out our Minneapolis warehouse, and so they'll let us come in and just do like a little sample sale. It's really lovely, actually. It's just for the employees. You can walk over, everything's maybe $5, $10, $20, take samples, and most of them are really well kept for. It's kind of like what we present on air to everybody.
Right
now, either we're no longer carrying that product, it's been sold out, but we still have the samples, so they let us buy them. So one day, I didn't realize, because I never pay attention to anything, that the sample sale is happening, but it's cash only.
Yeah.
So first crisis, I haven't had cash since 2005. I don't remember the last time there's cash in my bag.
Right.
So I'm calling my husband screaming because there's a sale on nice things like Donna Salyers coats, like really pretty China, Waterford, great shoes, some handbags. So I'm screaming at my husband at like Tuesday at 2. I'm like, bring me some cash. I need cash.
And
because I didn't want to miss out on the sale.
And you've got like 10 minutes. She's off air. She really does have a very tight little window.
Because, how we work, we can't be late to our show.
Yeah.
So I'm screaming at my husband to drop off an envelope of cash at work. And
like it's a drug deal.
He doesn't get it, but he does it because he knows he'll be in trouble otherwise. So an envelope with some dollar bills shows up at security, just like we were dealing drugs. And I grabbed Becky, and was it Nina, producer Nina?
Who are we in there with?
It was me,
Nina
and
was
you, and
there.
Nina.
Yeah.
It was the three of us. And I'm like, we're going. Because what makes me as happy as I get for myself, I love to watch other people shop. You know how like grandmas or moms love to watch people eat?
Yeah.
I love watching people shop. I get euphoric from it. So I grab these two, and we get into all these different conference rooms with stuff. And I guess I can't tell the story because I blacked out. I went straight black.
Yeah.
But I came out of there with some goods.
So she was like, I haven't been in the military, but it was a military operation. She was leading an overnight, like SEAL Team 6.
I should have had a walkie-talkie. Like, I found the plates in this room. Run.
She's like, cover me. You go there. You go there. And she's just, and it's kind of sprawling. And she has systematically worked through racks and racks and racks, rooms and rooms and rooms. And in about 7 minutes, and people were saying hi to her. She was not acknowledging them. No. They would see her days later and say, it was so nice to see you. And she was like, where?
Yeah.
When? At the sale. Never heard of her. And at the end, she has her wad of cash. And now, bear in mind, she has fronted us too. We have to Venmo her back because we didn't have any cash.
$1 bills that I made my husband drop off during the work day.
Just peeling off
Bring
money.
Me cash. How do I get cash? I know you told me one time in 2005, but I forgot.
Where does it come from?
I need more money. Now.
But the deals were so good. The Donna that I'm wearing was $40, I think.
And it is
phenomenal. I should just run down and get it and show you.
I got the Johnson Brothers, 'twas the night before Christmas, holiday plates for like $5 for a full set. But I was carrying those plates. I was like juggling shoes. I was throwing stuff at Nina like, I think you need that.
They didn't have bags, and she was just like, that's fine. She's just carrying wads of clothes, shoes.
So many nice things.
But then you came too.
I came too, and I thought to myself, did I give you money?
What happened?
Did I pay for my item? Was I a robber?
You couldn't account for your time.
Was I robbing my own company? I didn't know. And then I thought, did I do it justice? Should I go back? And everybody around me was like, please don't go back.
Yeah.
You did enough.
There's enough. Yeah. Leave some for the other people.
Yes. But I did great. I got new dishes. I got tons of new jackets. I got some little bit of beauty stuff. I mean, it was good.
It was really fun.
I was very happy, but it was alarming and scary.
But it gave me an insight into you that you really love. You love the euphoria of shopping. You love, whether it's
who doesn't?
Department store, right.
I'll have you know that the science community just published a study a little late if you ask me, that says shopping does do something to your mood.
Absolutely.
And I was like, yeah, duh. Get back to cancer, please. I could have told you that since 79.
And we all know. We all know.
There is a cure to cancer.
There's already a cure.
We won't go down that road because I like to stay alive. I don't want to show up dead. But I will tell you.
How those brake lines treating you.
When the scientists came out with this study, I got a little perturbed. Like, why doesn't anyone listen to me until the scientists say it? So like I've been telling you, do a little retail therapy. I swear you'll feel better.
Is it endorphins? Is it?
I think it's endorphins. Don't you get them? You get them when you get a deal. I get them in any type of shopping. Type of shopping. I get really pumped.
Nope. I'll bring you into the Hobby Lobby. I'll bring you into some Joann's, and I know you won't have that reaction.
Well, I've been to a Joann's. I've never been to a Hobby Lobby. I'll go there, but it's just hard for me to focus walking through all the chaos. You know, it's sometimes nicer to have it all organized.
Yeah.
So anyway, you want people to get different types of jackets. I agree with that because you do want a long pea coat. You do want a puffer. Obviously, budget. Be nice to your budget.
But I mean, a good variety, a good vest, a nice puffer vest. You want to have.
You want a long pea coat for sure.
A true winter coat, like down.
Like a ski.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cover the butt.
Of course. Yeah. And I'm sorry for those of you who live in warmer climate and you don't have a necessity for all these jackets. I do feel like you're missing out. I think it's really cool to have great jackets and outerwear. But you can still do it when you think you're cold at 50 degrees.
I think our sweet Jennifer is she in North Carolina? Levy, are you in? I think she's in North Carolina. And she's got a great variety of Donna. Doesn't even really, the weather doesn't get that cold.
Yeah. I mean, my late mother-in-law had fur jackets down in Arizona because it's just all relative.
Right.
Okay. So if you want to update your wardrobe instantly, slenderize your belt a little bit. Don't forget that your outerwear also has to have variety and your buns look good today. So happy you're here. I've been seeing some things on the old social medias that we need to talk about.
Oh, TikTok's back too.
Oh yeah, that's
You're
right.
back in business.
That's right. I was joking with my son. The TikTok ban lasted as long as him and his girlfriends break up. Like it was about as long as that one breakup you guys had this summer where you both thought you were going to die.
Remember the time,
then 12 hours later, you were right back together. Same TikTok. Same. Okay, so I think we all scroll through, all the social media platforms.
Right.
And I've been noticing a lot recently, just really insane behavior in normally sane places.
In public.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, when would I step in? When do you step in?
As a bystander?
Yes, as a bystander. When do you step into all this insanity? And maybe I'm just getting older and more rigid. I'm not sure.
Wait, what do I have to look up? Should I show the viewer?
Well, I don't know how to look it up, but I'm going to tell you. I'll walk you through it. You can see if you can find it. I'm sorry. I should have prepped this in advance.
That's okay.
But there was this viral video, and perhaps it's old, but it just came across my screen. It is this young girl. She probably looks, in my eye, maybe 8 or 9 years old.
Okay.
And she is alone in a grocery store, just terrorizing. She is taking packages off the shelf and throwing them on the ground and stomping on them. She's taking full arms and just swooshing across the shelves. She picked up the sparkling apple ciders in a glass bottle and was like throwing it. Now listen, there's a lot of disturbing parts about this, but let's find the humor. So she's running rampant and I'm like, girl's having a bad day. All right. Like poor who hasn't wanted to do that, but she's actually doing it. So at one point, some innocent bystanders are trying to help her and like calm her down.
Well, she's having an episode, clearly.
But people around her is like, that's not your kid. You can't do that. Leave her alone.
No.
You're not allowed to grab that child.
Heck no.
Then I think this was in a Walmart. I'm not quite sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows. Then the employees, like you can see them gathering around, but everyone's afraid.
Of the child?
Because you're not allowed to touch another child, right? Like to grab her. Like there's so many. So nobody's stopping her.
It takes a village.
Going wild.
Okay.
And in my mind, I would have grabbed her right by the arm. Oh,
here
you
she
saw
goes.
it. And we can put this up on YouTube too.
Yeah.
Can you see it okay? There's another man. Have you seen it?
Commenting on it. Yeah.
Okay. She is. Now, in my mind, I'm in my mid 40s. I have 2 teenagers. I grab that girl right by the arm and be like, listen up, lady.
Absolutely.
Everybody has a bad day, but we're not throwing glass today.
No.
No, you sit down. Where's your mom?
And I think
Where's
that
your
mom,
dad?
I think that mom does need help because don't you think, oh my Lord, she is raging. She's stomping on meat. She is stomping on meat.
Now, she's taking it out on innocent packages of meat. some nice Christmas cakes of sorts.
And the employees don't know what to do.
She's kicking.
This is like
we're gonna put it up for you guys.
I want it now.
I don't want to put the little girl down.
No.
But as a mother, Becky, I would take her. I would, even I feel like if I would have been in that store, I would have grabbed her and I would have sat her down and I would have said, listen, lady.
Yeah.
Tell me where your mom, your dad, your babysitter, your grandparents are. We need to have a chat.
Yeah.
Everybody has a bad day, but don't you know you just bottle it up and scream at your bestie later that night?
Haven't you learned?
Don't you know you go home and eat the entire thing of Oreos? What are you doing?
There's exactly one way to handle this situation.
Yes, you shove it deep down and then you go home and act out in private. Why are you acting out in public? So anyway, I'm like, what would I have done? But I was thinking back. When my kids were little, we live in the same town and there's a community pool.
Yes.
And there's like the big area with the slides and the high dives or whatever.
So fun.
And then there's a little roped off area. It's very nice of like the smaller slides and like the little bucket that tips. And
yeah.
When my boys were younger, we would go there almost every day.
Right.
We had a season pass. You get there right away in the morning. You pack a lunch, and you'd do 17 rounds of sunscreen and come home exhausted.
Yes.
So one time I was sitting kind of like in the wade in area with James and
he's a little buddy at this time.
That's my young buddy. He's never been a little buddy. He's never been a little.
Young buddy.
He was a young buddy. And
we
were sitting like in the wade in area, like on our buns, and he's splashing around. And then my older one, who's 4 years older, he's like running up and down the stairs. And I see these two young boys.
Uh-oh.
And they are fighting each other so hard. They're probably like 6 or 7. So young, but that's the older side of like
the little kid area.
The little kid.
Yeah.
And they're punching each other and one's shoving the other under the ground and his arms are like flailing up above the water and his head submerged underwater.
He's trying to kill him.
And like they're body slamming each other into shallow waters. And then there's all these little kids around them. So I don't know what came over me. And I might get arrested for telling this story. I told my girlfriend, I'm like, watch young James.
Yeah.
All right. He's right here rolling around. Okay. I went black. Like everything around me went black. And I marched at these two kids.
Yes.
Who were like brutally assaulting each other. And I grabbed both of them by the neck.
Like the scruff of the
neck.
neck.
And like, you guys, I can barely do a curl with a 10-pound free weight. I had them up like the Incredible Hulk. I took both of them.
Yes.
And I looked at them and go, knock it off! Knock it off! I was like shaking two children.
Yeah.
I had one in each hand.
Yes.
And they were like, they looked back like, who is this
you
maniac?
You scared the love of Jesus.
And
right
I said, where is your mother?
Good.
And they're like, our nanny's over here. And of course I look over and she's like texting on her phone.
Ignoring them.
And I marched those two boys over.
Yes.
I marched them to
Are
their
they
nanny.
brothers?
Well, they explained when I got them to the nanny, I said, did you just see what these two boys were doing? Right. Are you in charge of them? And she's like, oh, sorry. They always get in fights. They're brothers. And like they could have drowned each other. They could have drowned another child. This is unacceptable. And the kids were petrified.
Ooh.
And she just sort of looked at me like, all right, like she's used to it. So then the blackness went away and my rage settled down. And I walked back over to young James, who was sitting with my girlfriend. And she goes, holy shit.
That was a lot. Was it a lot?
And I looked around. Every parent had like stopped and dropped everything and was just staring at me.
The record scratched.
A few were like a slow clap or a few were like, a few did a slow clap, a few did like a little thumbs up my way.
Did you ever know that you're my
But overall, people were like, how did that little lady just take 2 7-year-olds and raise them up above her head with her bare hands and scream that loud?
So you had one under each arm. And
My girlfriend was like, okay, I think you did the right thing.
I'm not sure.
Somebody had to make it stop.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the lifeguards not paying attention. One of the nannies who wasn't looking.
Was everyone texting? Like, were people trying to ignore it?
I don't know what. And so I did then get a little embarrassed. But in hindsight, I still stand by it. I didn't want anyone to die.
But we grew up in a time when if you did something out in public and your parents weren't around, there was somebody else
Neighbors
around.
would hit me with wooden spoons.
We had the nuns beating us to death at the school. Like, I mean, there was accountability throughout the community.
Yeah. So I stepped in that situation.
As you should.
Mouths were agape. People were like, what's going on here? This lady's losing her cool.
And how did she turn into the Incredible Hulk?
How did that woman, who we've seen in group fitness classes, basically take a break and sit in the back? Just sit in the back and watch everybody and like clap along to the beats. Like, When they tell me to lift more weights, I basically stick up the middle finger and say, how dare you?
You guys keep going.
You?
I'm going to be back here.
Yeah, I'll just cheer you on in the back. So I stepped in that moment. But of course, this is we've had so many like societal and civil changes over the past 5-6 years. This was at least 10 years ago.
And maybe 11 years ago. Record it now.
Yes. So now somebody would record it. Now somebody would get mad that I put my hands on their child. Yeah. Now somebody would have said it's not my business. So now you see that girl going full crazy.
Yeah.
In the Walmart. And, she's a little girl. So, but, I'll give her grace. But come on, nobody could stop her?
That is so frightening.
What would you do?
No, and here's the problem. I think I would say something or do something, but there is that little quiet voice saying, are you about to get sued?
Yes.
Like what you're about to do. Are you ready to lose everything at the Walmart?
You know what you and I could have done well? If you and I were in that Walmart at the same time.
Yeah.
And she was taking it out on the packages of ham.
Yeah.
Okay, on the budding ham.
Do like a distraction?
No, yeah. I feel like you and I could have put our clown shoes on. And just from either angle, we could have like slowly been like, and all that jazz. Yeah. Like I could have done a cartwheel into the splits.
Over here.
Yeah, you could have started doing like little jokes. We would have distracted her.
We'd come in there with cymbals on our knees. And
we would have opened the ham that she like broke open. We would have started eating it in funny ways, like sticking it on ourselves like Lady Gaga.
I was wondering about that. Like, I wonder if she was having like a blood sugar thing. Like, do you need a snack? Let's just open one and have a little bite.
Listen, when you're 9 years old, it's your parents' fault. I'm sorry. Or your caretaker needs to help you.
Yeah.
But I feel like we could have been great advocates. In fact, that could be our next business. Do you want to share? So many businesses in the hopper. If Meat Feet goes awry.
Yeah. That's
our next business could be.
Well, you had the funeral directing.
Yes.
That would be a nice one.
I was going to be a fun funeral director, but I can't deal with the actual dead stuff. I'm going to make it happy.
Yeah.
Meat Feet obviously is a golden idea, but we could also do a business where if you have troubles controlling your child, we'll come in with the distraction.
Yes.
It's safe, no hands on.
You just push the SOS button on your phone.
Yeah, it's kind of like one of those I've fallen and I can't get up buttons around your neck. Like if you're an adult and you have an unruly child
alert.
You press it and Becky and I show up. No hand. We don't use hands. We don't use yelling. Mm-mm. We just use our tried and true distractions.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it's so good. And just by the end of it, if your kid isn't giggling, you get a 50% price savings.
On your next service.
Yes, you get 50% off your next service. Not only will we stop the episode.
Because that rotten kid's going to do it again. You know it.
Not only will we stop the episode, but when your rotten kid acts up again, you'll get 50% off your second. If they didn't giggle the first time around. Time we're done.
We would get, I'm going to be really honest with you. There wasn't a lot of corporal punishment when I was growing up.
No.
I think I remember getting spanked once for a really bad one. But like, let's be honest, a little spanking is in order, right? Is that too controversial? Like
it's probably really controversial.
Or the threat of it. How about that? The threat of something really bad when you get home.
Let me save you here.
But I just think if there was a real consequence.
There's nothing wrong with strong discipline.
Yes.
And that can come in many different forms.
That's a better way of saying
it. Spank.
She's gonna delete this part. I can tell in the editing process. Erin just got
I'm keeping it in. The whole point of this podcast is to show her true colors. The whole point.
Be honest though, you guys. If you knew that you had to go home and account to your parent or your grandparent or somebody in your life for that kind of behavior, whoo.
No, I know.
I'd be so afraid.
Discipline is important.
Yes.
We need to have more discipline.
Yes.
Whether it's spanking or maybe just like firm boundaries. I don't know, Bex.
This is the difference in our generation.
We're gonna have.
She's doing gentle kindness.
No, if you've known me for a minute, you know I got spanked. I got spanked. I didn't get grounded that much because I think they were like, that girl's so resourceful. She'll be out the window in 2 seconds.
Well, and the new one now with your phone and the TV and stuff, go to your room. Good. I'm sure
totally.
Kids are like, sweet.
I'm like, get out of your room. You know what your punishment is? You're sitting right here with me.
We're going to visit.
Sucker.
We're going to have a chat.
You're not getting anywhere. No, I do think, listen, there's no perfect way to parent, but I do think a little discipline could help. But I think, you know what else would be good? I think is kids always react in humor. I think we don't have enough humor now.
Oh, this is good.
My youngest gave my oldest a fart machine for Christmas. I actually think a fart machine could cure a lot of issues.
You trot that out.
You walk up to that girl who's about to throw down a little Debbie Hostess cake in the middle of a Walmart.
Yes.
And you lay out one of the fart machine noises.
I promise.
She's going to stop and giggle.
She's going to laugh. That's it.
That's maybe.
Why are you giving away our ideas?
Exactly. First thing you do, you get yourself a fart machine.
A whoopee cushion
and a fart machine. And if that doesn't stop a temper tantrum, you call in us, the reinforcements.
That's right.
So we will send you, we're going to have to do it this quick. What we'll do is we'll do little patented fart machines that can connect to your lanyard.
Oh, it's like a DIY
You've got a lanyard where you press a button for help, where we come in with our clown show to help stop the temper tantrum.
Yes.
And then you got another little button that gives off.
That'll buy you some time.
That gives off a funny pass gas, a funny windbreaker. Okay. A funny little rip. And if that rip doesn't work, then you press your other button and here we come running.
Windbreaker, I really like.
A windbreaker.
I would like to use that more than the F word.
I know, because I don't know if you guys know this. We're pretty much an open book, unfortunately. But I don't like talking about bodily functions. Mm-hmm. It's just gross to me. I also think it's low-hanging fruit.
I'll say fuck before I'll say fart. I don't love that word. I do not. That's the F word to me.
It is the F word to you. But it could be a really good tactic in controlling your unruly child.
Okay, so here's a question. I'm going to tie this into another bizarre behavior publicly.
Okay, like when do you step in insane behaviors in otherwise sane atmosphere?
Could the airport dancers diffuse the crazy child? So maybe what we need to do. Erin was sharing this with me. This sort of like one-man flash mob that just happens in the middle of the airport.
So listen, I've seen a lot of them. If you haven't seen this on social media, people will just do full dance routines. Not like a little and a hip step, a kick, ball, change. It is like
5, 6, 7.
It is like big kicks and leaps and rolling on the ground, which by the way, go bathe in sanitizer after that. Airport carpet. Could also be air porn. We don't know. Haven't
work it into the OnlyFans.
Airport carpet.
Ew.
I mean, you're asking for something.
So is this like a TikTok cry for help?
Well, no, because there's there are good dancers and like well-known dancers.
But why in that application? Why that
I'm not
place?
quite sure. It's this whole trend on doing insane things in otherwise sane areas. Now the dancing, great. But I'm going to tell you something.
Studio.
The airport, exactly. The airport brings out the absolute worst in people.
True.
People lose their minds. They forget how to take shoes off. They get offended that they ask to see an ID.
Yeah.
Like people go crazy.
Yeah.
So what makes you think the right place to go into a full studio routine would be that airport?
Temperatures are high.
Where
stress
couples are breaking up.
Yes.
Divorces are being initiated.
Yes.
Right? People are losing friends.
I will never travel with you again.
No, you can't walk. You can barely walk down the corridor of an airport and you think it's a good idea to do a toe touch into a rolling split?
And where do you find the space? Everything is so confined in an airport.
And when you were setting up your tripod to take this,
That's
you didn't
true.
have one friend or family member to say, nah, let's not do that today.
Let's wait.
Let's get home and do it in the basement. What are we doing here? And now maybe I'm looking at it from, I typically travel in a family of 4 and I hate to brag, but I got good travelers, good eaters, good travelers. Never had an issue with either one.
Did you see the Jen Aiden thing at the Jersey Mike's?
Come on now. We'll get to that.
Does not bring out the best in people.
I even have good travelers and airports are still
hard.
Yes. Where we're the grossest parts of ourselves.
Yep.
We're unruly. We're
tired,
irritated.
low blood sugar.
Got a short fuse. Mom will yell in public where I typically pride myself on saving my screams for home. So what makes you think? No, but this is my question for you.
Yes.
When do you step in? Do you step in and say, no? Or do you just let the insanity ensue?
So what here now, the through line for both questions is not about the person doing the thing. It's not about the little girl freaking out. It's not about the dancer. Your question is, as a bystander or maybe a friend, a loved one, trusted.
As a witness.
Yeah.
As a witness to this in any capacity.
What is our responsibility to the craziness?
Where do we lie in all of this?
Oh, this is a good question.
So with an airport dancer. With an airport dancer.
I like to believe I would not know or be with an airport dancer. So right away we're self-selecting.
Oh. If we're coming home from Vegas and I'm still tipsy, watch out.
Wow,
that's
a different
my
story
words right now.
Everybody, sweet Karen, right? Everybody.
And a 5, 6,
and the back.
7, 8. I
Have you ever been on a flight though with people on their way to Mexico and they are partying in mass, like from the minute they got to the airport? Oh, there's nothing better.
No, and there's
Those
nothing worse
people-
for me. Airport, I go straight like. I go like weird. Like
Hood.
Like, yeah, it's a hood. It's a glass. It's a earphone. It's a don't look me in the eye.
So you don't want someone to pass you a lay?
No,
We
it
had
is
one
the.
where they gave everybody lays.
And
Like,
you were probably the one who was like, "Let's do it! I'll change my reservation. What resort are you at?
where are we headed?
I'll be there. Have you ever tried meat feet?
I'll see you at Andalays.
I'm gonna bring my Spanx. Watch out."
Do you know that I have a Spanx bathing suit? For real?
No, you don't. You
Yes.
don't need one, girl. What are you doing?
Oh, I mean, suits. Come on, let's go. I'm not. That's a different
another
story.
Okay, so when do you step in? You wouldn't step in at the airport. Would you step in with this little girl?
I mean, for a stranger doing a dance, it is like, I don't know, like it's offensive to me, and I think it's kind of rude and kind of like presumptuous.
Okay,
but I don't know if I'd stop him as a stranger.
Yeah. What if
that kid though?
Yeah, the kid.
That's enough.
I mean, they're ruining property.
Or you know what I would honestly, if this is what I would do. I'd send Father Phil in. You go, that's terrible. You should go do something. You know, when you plant the seed. I can't believe you're allowing this to happen.
I can't believe other fathers are standing around watching this.
You boys get together.
Everybody get together. Do you step in if somebody's wearing something atrocious?
This is tough. Okay. If they asked, and you gave me good advice, and I like this one. Erin gave me advice. If you were going to give somebody a quick note, they have to be able to change it in like 10 seconds.
10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So anybody can do that with their outfit, unless you're already out on the town.
You have something in your teeth. You've got lipstick on your teeth. You can lose the scarf. You know, something
Yeah, but
like
what
that.
if somebody's just making a really terrible fashion choice? Are you going to be like, girl, you look terrible?
Oh, man. How do you say it in love, though? Like, we're all doing this. Like, did you want to try, like, you know, a suggestion?
Oh, okay.
Like, would a jacket be cute with that? Or something quick that you could maybe...
So one time
do you
my
have
girl...
an example?
Yeah.
You do?
Well, I tell people all the time, I'm sorry.
What do you do, though? Do you just go...
Yep, I do.
Do you make the face like
remember in The Devil Wears Prada when Miranda Priestley, if she purses her lips, it means she hates it?
Oh, yeah.
So I'll do like a look a lot where I kind of just am like, I wouldn't do that. But I have had to intervene. Like one time, my girlfriends and I were in New York City. It was a few years back. And every day, my one girlfriend, I love her, she was wearing the same blazer every day.
Okay.
And actually the blazer wasn't, I mean, I wouldn't say it was like, oh my gosh, everybody needs one of these, but it wasn't ugly by any means. Yeah. But she wore it during the day with denim and sneakers. And she wore it that night with a blouse and a pair of pants. Then she wanted to wear it the next day. And you're being photographed. I mean, that blazer's going to be in every picture. That's enough, okay?
Wait, did she have other cute things though?
Well,
or maybe that's all she
This is what I did.
Oh.
I just looked at her and I said, hey, do you want to wear one of my tops tonight?
That was nice.
And she immediately said, oh my God, have I been wearing the blazer too much?
She
I said,
knew
yes.
what it meant. Okay.
So I just offered her a different jacket or top from me.
Yeah.
I think it is nicer to be direct and honest than it is to just be sweet for sweet sakes. I mean, we should all be nice. I think your buns look good today, girl. They always do.
Yeah.
But also, like, it's mean knowing your friend is making a mistake and not telling them.
Yes, I think that's true.
IMO, in my opinion.
No, right. No, I think that's nice. And I think it's said in love. And you have to be in relationship with the person, though. So she knows your heart. She knows
I love her. I'm not going to walk up to a stranger and say, big mistake.
Listen,
huge.
Dummy. Yeah.
That's not it. That ain't it. But you can tell your friends. Well, then I take it into another realm, too. My oldest, Will, and my husband, John.
Oh, boy.
God bless them. But they have booming, deep voices. And they talk so loud.
In every application?
People think I'm loud. You guys, I sound like a quiet little church mouse next to them. I mean, I will wake Will up in the morning. I'm like, good morning, honey. It's, 7:30. Gotta roll out of bed. Hey, Mom. I mean, what? The neighbors are up. The dog just jumped and started barking. She thinks somebody's honking a horn. Like, James isn't up yet. Now he's up. He's like, what happened? Is there a fire? Is the alarms going off?
Oh, no.
It's so tragically loud. And I love them. And so sometimes I just like let it roll. But or like, God forbid, if either one of them is on the phone, in our home and I'm also on the phone, I can't hear or concentrate because it is booming.
Do you have to go outside?
Yeah, I have to go hide like under the stairs in the basement and put like this faux fur blanket over my head.
In the little Harry Potter cupboard.
It is so loud. So that's, again, when do you step in? So sometimes I'm like, you're screaming.
Yeah.
You're screaming.
Like if you're in public, do you say like...
Yeah. And sometimes they're like, oh yeah, I shouldn't. And then other times they're like, what do you want me to do? This is my voice. Like, stop telling.
That's what I'll get. If I'm correcting, I'll get what? And I'll try
and
to do
face,
it really...
face too.
What? Yeah. Like I'll try to do it real subtle. Like... or you just, how you do that thing like your mom would do to you. Like if you got the stink eye from your mom, you're like, oh, you're going to get your ass beat.
Yeah, but now some of my friends will be like, Erin, you're talking too fast. You're talking too loud. And I'm like, thank you so much for telling me. Like, I don't want to make a jerk of myself. So thank you.
Yeah.
So I'm the opposite. I'm just shocked that people wouldn't want to know.
Well, but now I'm going to take a detour because then I got a little note that I did not appreciate. So if it's from someone that I don't appreciate it from, then I'm like,
well, yeah. Oh, she's flicking people off.
You know what
now.
I mean, though?
Yeah. You're going to say, oh, fart you. Oh, you go have a big fart.
Go fart your face.
It's worse. Becky says that's a worse word for her than F-U-C-K, than the fuck word.
I don't love that word.
Oh, you go have a fart. I got to tell you guys about something. So in my time working with Becky, which has been over 10 years now.
Yes.
Okay. Because we work in television, I think one of the best things is we get to meet so many people, how we've met most of you. We get to engage with so many people, which is so fun. But that also comes with basically everybody thinking they can say anything they want to us.
Yeah.
And along my tenure on television, I've gotten every type of comment. Name it, I've got it. Whatever. I mean, it used to really hurt my feelings. Does it just roll
off your back?
No, not at all. It used to hurt my feelings so bad. Then I decided to just not watch or look anymore at all.
Smart.
And now I'm at a place where I feel like I found my people.
Yes.
And you just have to realize not everybody is your person, and that's okay. You guys know the drill. We've all had enough self-help books, okay? I don't need to tell you.
Thank you, Mel Robbins.
Thank you so much. And I do like the let them theory. We should get into that one day. But so in all these years, which is another reason I really wanted to start this podcast, to expose who she really is.
That's the whole ulterior motive.
In all my years on television with Becky, I've heard some nasty things about myself, other hosts, other guests. I've heard the craziest things people talk about. The personality, the way you look, everything, the speed, the rate at which you speak, the words at which you choose, blah, 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 blah.
Literally.
Okay? You literally have to think about it as blah, 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 or you'll make yourself crazy.
You're right.
Well, Little Miss Perfect here, Little Miss Japanese model, not a single negative. Not a one.
Until Saturday.
Not a one. Let me continue. Do you know how difficult it is to work with somebody who everybody loves? She is. She's the princess.
She's being so kind, you guys.
Nope, you're the Princess Diana. You're the Kate. I'm the Meghan.
You're being very kind.
But then this Saturday, and I swear it wasn't me. I didn't plant it. I don't want bad
Somebody
for her.
did.
I love you. Your first negative comment came rolling in just this past weekend.
The irony
How
is,
does it feel? How are you? Do we need to call Kathy, the therapist?
Do you know what my favorite part was?
What?
We were doing a Facebook Live. We do a little recap after our show, and you guys are there, and it's so much fun, and we giggle. And out of nowhere, someone whose name we've never, ever heard before comes into the chat and has some things to say. She
about
said,
Rebecca,
Yeah,
not me. This is a shock to the world.
and actually, I blocked it out now. She said, "You're a sweetheart, but that Becky," and I can't even tell you what it was. It was like bad, whatever, Becky bad, whatever it was. And you instantly blocked her. My favorite part, though, the crew went into full effect. So
yeah, the other girls went
girls
to support you, which is very kind.
The best. It was just like this force field of love came up, and we're like rejecting, absolutely not accepted. Get out of here. Let it.
Yeah.
So
How do you
was my
feel?
favorite
It's been a few days since you got your first negative feedback in 54 years. What does it feel like? How are you recovering?
Here's what I would say. We're talking about when to speak up, like when to intervene. And that, my friend, is exactly the wrong time. Like, I know you have thoughts. I know you have opinions. But just to say something shitty for shitty's sake, nothing I can change. I don't even know if it wasn't even anything.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything you could correct in the moment or anything that really had any validity.
No, it was just
from what I can remember.
creepy. And I thought, wow. I mean, like, and by the way, I'm not surprised. Like, I get that that's how social media works, but it was just that example of, man, you got to pick your time. You got to, yes, intervene when you're called upon. It's the right time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, if you have the inclination just to beep boop and type something shitty,
yeah,
I would really.
There was a lady
that.
like back in 2017 who was really upset that my face wasn't symmetrical.
Was she like pausing and measuring?
She would send me notes all the time, like, your eyes are mismatched. Your face is uneven. I'm like, I know, I'm a human.
What?
I'm not a Japanese model.
No, do you know that nobody's face is, if you have you ever seen those pictures where they'll literally copy this side to this side?
Yeah, mine looks
crazy.
weird. And if you flip mine, I look insane. I look like an alien.
Yes.
I've heard Gisele Bundchen might have a perfectly symmetrical face.
That sounds right.
But in 2007, I had a lady who was like, your face is crooked. And I'm like, I literally don't know what to do for you. And she was telling me like I should quit getting surgeries. And I'm like, ma'am, I didn't pay for this action.
I would like a refund.
Your surgery was bad. And I'm like, girl, when I get a surgery, I'm going to look so
you'll
perfect. You'll know.
Yeah.
I'll look perfectly snatched. I'm like, I didn't pay for somebody to make the left side of my face lopsided from the right side.
And by the way, is she a plastic surgeon?
I don't know, but she was really interested in my face.
Come on, you guys. I mean, and this is the thing, we giggle about it, and it really does roll off our backs. That is true. However, I just think, like, there's a newscaster in town here who is frequently pinged on her weight. There is, there's like a lot of this in our industry. And it's like, yeah, I know we're on TV, but still a lady down the street, like, just, it's crazy to me.
Well, it says more about the person saying it than you.
1000%.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Whatevs.
yes.
And of course, because I'm into conspiracy theories, I'm like, oh, who'd you wrong? They sent a bot after you.
Yeah.
Did you say something mean to somebody and they
Yes.
sent a bot? Because it is really out of the norm for you, of all people,
To not have it,
Rebecca,
and then to have it.
never gets negative feedback.
On that
Inside,
day.
outside.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes negative feedback helps because I've always been a fast talker.
Yeah.
I've always been like high energy. And when I first started, so if you didn't know, Becky's a host or Becky's a guest and I'm a host, and you don't need to know all the ins and outs, but they have different, they have different responsibilities. And I started as a guest, and guests really kind of follow the host's lead.
Always.
Okay. So when I was a guest, I would follow the lead of the host. So I just was at their pace or at their speed. So when I became a host and now I'm leading it, it was like, you're in a fast track, baby. Like, hold on. Like, your cheeks are blowing in the wind. Your hair is messy by the end of my show. Because it is just, it's going. So I did get a lot of feedback 10 years ago. Like, girl, you're talking too fast.
It's too fast.
And actually, that's when I appreciate feedback, because I never had a friend who had a hard time keeping up with me. I never had people before say, like, wait.
And this is how girls talk, by the way.
Totally. And I think something that I like, but can be difficult at times, is I've always approached my job as this is true friendship. I've never approached it as though I'm talking to strangers.
Yeah, no.
So, I treated everybody like they were my friend. So I talked to them like they were my friend, but the feedback was good.
Well, and can I just say too, the feedback was organized. It was a sit down where they're playing the tape. It's your peers. It's someone who is either
I'm talking
your boss.
about random people.
Oh, it was?
But thank you for
I was thinking it was like a tape review. I'm thinking it's like
Do you want to tell anybody else what's in my HR file? Why don't you tell them about my last pay raise?
What I like, though, is like back in the day, it would be great. You would sit down, you would watch yourself back with other people, and you want to have some real hard conversations with yourself about your face, about your voice, about every word you choose. And then they'll go,
it's
now
not for the week.
Here might have been a nice time to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And like they would.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But it was.
Oh, that happens.
That's what it was.
So, yes, Becky, thank you. Internally and externally, we talked
Well,
about
who gave you the feedback, though?
people online. Just like somebody said to you, they didn't like you. People online.
Oh, but that doesn't
Come on, whack-a-mole.
count.
No, so, yeah, no, that's where I'm saying it's helpful, my love.
Yeah.
Is like, Becky got her first negative piece of feedback this weekend, and it's been a tough road for all of us. We're trying to help her through it. I got a lot of feedback when I first started as a host that I went too fast in my speech from people online. They'd be like, Erin, fun show. You talk too fast. So there is a place for feedback.
But you
I
have
can
to acknowledge
change it and it makes your experience better. And,
Yeah.
And I promptly corrected it by listening to very sad emo songs before I went on air.
Oh, that's where that started.
So what I would do then, because I would get so jazzed and excited. I mean, God, I got to shop with most of you because most of you know us from there. I got to hang out with Rebecca and oh my God, Sarah Skilreud, Maya Powell.
The best.
I mean, of course, all of our guests now. And so, but at the time, that's who it was.
Yes.
And I would get so excited that right before I go on air, I put a nice little like Foolish Games by Jewel in. I'd put some angsty Tori Amos on. I just slow down. I try to get a little sad for like a boyfriend breakup from the late 90s. And guess what? It worked. I slowed my pace down.
Yes.
I took a deeper breath, and I haven't had any of that feedback for quite some time.
Well, and here's the thing though, when you read it, there's something in you that went, ooh, yep, that's true.
Totally.
That's what I'm struggling with, is if it was something where I'm like we had another one about makeup or whatever. You guys, we look like painted whores on TV. You
Speak for yourself. That's my natural beauty. Listen, she's telling you about my internal reviews. She's pretending I wear makeup when I don't. Just kidding.
But I mean, when I remember our stylist, Rob, used to say, if you don't look like a painted whore, you didn't do it right.
Well,
you didn't put enough on.
TV lights are different.
Yes.
And yeah, you do actually. I wear at least, do you want the...
Yes, thank you.
Sorry, I have to wear a blanket because I try to keep it cool in here for old...
Oh, heat flash
McGee
over here.
Yes. Old hot flash Sally. So it's cold so she doesn't get a sweat mustache.
But she's got a Donna Salyers.
Faux fur. Okay, I'm so cold.
Oh my gosh. No, but that's my thing. Like if it was something that I was like, ooh, good note, believe me, I would take it and accept it and make the change. But if it's just like, oh, you're just being a jerk, there's nothing I can do about that. Like you're not asking me to change anything. There's nothing I can help you with.
For next episode, I'm going to ask HR if I can have some of Becky's files for internal reviews.
Not about yours. I always liked tape reviews.
No, I know. Tape reviews is where you'd sit in a room with like all the major players and you would have to watch yourself back. And if you want I don't care how well the show went, if you want to cringe, I mean, my entire body would be clenched. I would be sweating from every orifice. My heart rate would be, I hate listening to my voice back.
That's rough.
Which is so weird because we just keep saddling up to the mic and the camera. We just keep saddling up.
I don't listen back.
So when do you step in? We don't know. But if you need help, Becky and I will be there with our clown shoes. Just push a button. You press one button for help, one button for a fart noise.
What's our button? Let's see. Just press it. I haven't done that for a while. Should we go through the old?
I love that one. Yes, these are all the sound effects we should be using more often, Becky. That's what I needed to do before I went out on air and talked too fast.
These are great. Oh yeah, I'd bring it on down. Do you guys know sometimes I'll listen to pods on like 1.25?
I can't do that. You recommended me to do that, and it made me like...
You can't do it to ours.
On like a monster drink.
No, but ours you can't.
Because it goes too fast?
Yes. It's fast at 1.0, but there's some that, it helps.
We're not here to bring you down. I don't know what you want me to say. We're not here to bring you down. We're here to raise you up.
Ooh.
It's been almost an hour.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Another goal of ours is to not talk so much.
Sorry, guys.
So we went about 23 minutes over what we anticipated. But great news. Becky's calling out my internal reviews. That's great. And we really didn't answer when to step in or not. I think you got to... when you go black and you don't know what else to do, when everything goes dark and you find yourself in the middle of a kiddie pool,
let the
taking
spirit lead.
two strange boys by the neck and dragging them over to their uninterested nanny.
But you know what? Okay, I know we need to stop.
We do.
This happened where a bystander did this to Andy Cohen, knew the kids were with the nanny, didn't like the behavior of the nanny, and like outed the behavior to Andy.
Really? Was this public knowledge?
Yeah.
Oh,
like
no
he
way.
talked about it on his pod.
And how did he feel about it?
He had the utmost respect for his nanny, spoke about it with her. They didn't have an issue with it. And so now he's got an issue with the lady.
The stranger?
The intervener. Yeah. Who's another mom at school that
he
has
really?
to continue to see.
Yeah. See, that's the other hard thing is like, I was raised by a community of people.
Yes.
I was raised by the aunts and uncles, the grandparents, the neighbors, the friends' kids. Like everybody had a hand in this disaster.
But isn't that,
I don't know if it was
I
good.
love that though, because then you felt accountable, or you felt like in the way I was raised, it was like the Holy Spirit is watching you,
Yeah.
or like honestly,
yeah.
there was a lot of guilt around
Yeah, Father Mannion.
Right?
I know. I was in that
angel.
confessional holding an 80-year-old man's hand, telling him about all my sins because I lied and I kissed Kirk Cameron's poster on the lips.
Is that what you confessed?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then I lied to my brother about where I hid the Oreos or something crazy like that. And I kissed Kirk Cameron on the lips, and we're not married.
Did you ever panic before confession, though, where you were like, I got to come up with something good? I can't think of anything.
No, I always had something to share. Of course, perfect Becky didn't.
No, I would just I'd go blank.
No.
I'd have to think of some good
that's
stuff.
something we can talk about another time, too.
Confession.
That was tough. Confession was tough. And they made us do it all the way until we were 18.
Oh, yeah.
And at that point, I was like, no, my God, no.
No, Oreos.
Remember the time I stole the Oreos from my brother when I was 3? Still doing it.
3 Hail Marys, 3 Our Fathers.
No, one thing that we can talk about in the future is because we were raised by wolves and community.
Yes.
I think
pack.
I think and this is a generational thing, so it's definitely going to make me seem old. But we're more versatile in how we can handle authority, how we can handle different rules in different capacities.
That's true.
And I think, no offense to Andy Cohen, I really like him and everything he's done with Bravo. But when you teach your kid, there's only one set of rules and it's only yours and it's only your household. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I am saying those kids have a harder time adapting to other people's expectations and rules.
That's interesting.
And you've got to be able to respect other people's boundaries.
Yeah.
You can't just say, well, me and my family don't have those boundaries, so we don't care.
Ooh.
I think if you're going to have an easier time in life and if you're going to be,
successful.
Well, I think there's something to be said for, not that you have to break your own, ethics by any means, but it's easier if you can be more flexible in understanding other people's boundaries and expectations.
Really good.
Versus this is all that matters to us, only what my dad said and nothing else.
Super rigid, super dogmatic. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, but that's for another time. For now, just let us know if you need help with your unruly kids.
What's your PSA? Is that your PSA for the day?
My PSA for the day is never ever tell Becky what the internal team said to you in your tape review, because she'll out you. Also, step in if you need to, and I'll get your back.
Help a girl out.
If everybody else looks at you crazy, you let me know. I'll get your back. I think we need to help each other out more often than not.
A mom in a grocery store with an unruly child.
What's your PSA? Love.
Oh gosh, what's my PSA for today? I don't know. You know what? It sounds simple, but if it's not kind, what does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said right now?
Okay.
Ask yourself those questions before you tippity tap.
Yeah. And
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
I'll book your therapy appointment to get you through this one negative comment.
Call Kathy.
Kathy, one negative comment in 10 plus years.
And I'm
going to help. You guys, we got to help Becky through this. We got to support her. We got to be there for her.
Don't read the comments. Don't believe the hype.
Never read the comments or believe the hype. We love you. If nobody told you today, you look good. We're so happy to have you here. We'll see you next week. Bye. You guys, do us a huge favor, please. Will you like this podcast, share it, or subscribe? Because that helps, right, Bex?
It will help us a ton.
It will. And I don't know if we've helped you. But if you don't mind helping us, that'd be great.
Fair's fair.
Love you.